Hi guys, so today's tutorial is just a quick one on basic skincare and foundation and concealing. So first of all, I'm starting off with a clean face which has already been washed with my Daily Youth Foamy Moisture Face Wash by Soap and Glory. Really love this one at the moment, and it really does make my skin feel nice and fresh and clean and not too tight or dry, and this one is actually for all skin types. Next thing I'm going to do is use my eye cream. The one that I'm using at the moment is the Origins Plantscription Anti-Aging Eye Cream, which I really like at the moment. So what we do with that is we'll just take a little bit on our ring finger, like so. The reason we use our ring finger is because this finger applies the least amount of pressure. So it's better to use this one when using products under the eye, because we don't want to pull or drag or sort of make any more wrinkles than we've already got. As you can see, my eyes are a little bit wrinkly and tired at the moment, and they are quite puffy as well, and dark circles. So we need to cover all that up a bit later. But first of all, we're going to pat on some eye cream like so, taking it right up to the corner where the crow's feet lie, like so. And then I'm just going to literally just pat a little bit onto the lids, not too much, because that can make them even puffier. And if you're going to use a serum, which I am going to use today, then you would use that before you use your moisturiser. The reason for that is it needs to sink straight into the skin and get to work before the moisturiser goes on top, because the moisturiser will kind of seal it in. If you moisturise the skin and then put serum on top, it won't work as well, because you've already put so much moisture into the skin with your moisturiser that your serum won't be able to sink right deep inside and get to work on whatever it's supposed to be doing. Now, the one that I'm using is this one. This is from the Lacura range from Aldi. This is super cheap and it is so good. I basically read quite a few reviews on this one and decided to give it a go myself. I think it was about £3.99, something like that, no more than £4. This is the Multi Intensive Serum. It says it's for mature skin. Can you see that? But I think any skin type can use this one. So literally just a couple of pumps. Actually, I think I've pumped out a bit too much, but never mind. So I'm just going to pat some of that onto the skin, like so. And then just give that a really good massage. Let that sink in for a second. And then we're going to go on to use our moisturiser. Again, I'm using one from Soap and Glory. This one's called For Daily Youth, and it's got 6-in-1 multi-active, whatever that means, but I'm really liking it at the moment. And again, this is for all skin types, so I'm just going to pop a little bit of that out onto my hand, like so. Don't need too much. And then again, I'm just going to pat that all in, just around the face, a little bit on the neck as well. Don't forget the neck. So again, we're going to really massage that in, give that a good massage. Now, you know when you have a facial and your skin always looks really plumped up and glowy afterwards, and you think, oh my God, you look amazing. A lot of that is to do with the massage that you get. So just make sure you really massage that neck as well. Always go upwards, like that. Okay, now we're done with skincare, we are going to move on to foundation. The foundation I'm going to use today is the Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum. Now again, I read quite a few reviews on this one, watched a few YouTube videos, and I was quite impressed, so I decided to go and get it for myself. This is actually really good. It's amazing. It's my favourite of the moment. This one is in number 55, dark beige. So I'm just going to pop a couple of pumps of that onto my hand, like so, and buff that into the skin. I'm going to use my Real Techniques brush. This is the Expert Face brush, I think it's called, but this is an amazing brush for foundation. So I'm just going to dab it into the foundation, and then I'm going to buff that into the skin. There we go, foundation all done. I think that looks pretty good. Now on to concealing spots and blemishes. I actually love this Nars concealer. This colour is called Medium Custard, and I really prefer, for covering up blemishes and spots, something a little bit thicker. And I really like things like this that look like a little lipstick, and then you can just like dab them on to wherever you need them. So I'm just going to dab it onto the little blemishes, and then what I actually like to do is press them in with my finger. I find that it sinks into the skin a lot better, and when you have a spot and you just sort of press it in, press the concealer into the spot with your finger, it works a lot better than a brush. That's my preference anyway. Under the eyes, what I'm going to use is a liquid concealer, because I find thicker concealers a little bit too heavy under the eye area, and they can sort of sink into the creases and the cracks and the wrinkles a little bit more than what you'd want them to. So a liquid concealer is better, and I'm going to use the Smashbox Camera Ready BB Cream Eyes, and this does have an SPF in it. So what I'm going to do is twist that up a little bit, and then I'm just going to paint that under the eye area, going into the inner corner. The colour of this one is light medium. Now around the eyes I prefer to use a brush, so what I'm going to do is use my 217 MAC fluffy brush, and I'm just going to... Then what I'm going to do to brighten the area is I'm going to get another liquid concealer in a lot lighter shade. This one is the Lancôme Teint Miracle, which is that one. And this is in the colour Light. Now it is really light, but to brighten and highlight, that is what you need. So you do need to get something that's lighter, a lot lighter than your skin tone. So to brighten, we're just going to use the pen highlighter in this area and in the inner corner, and you can use some down the centre of your nose, chin, and you can use it to highlight the cheekbones as well. Back to my 217 fluffy brush, and I'm just going to blend, and this will then really brighten up the eye area. You can use this highlighter to highlight under the brow bone, like so. Now we've done the concealer and foundation, what we need to do is just finish off with some powder. So what I'm going to do under the eyes is use my MAC transparent finishing powder. I'm just going to pop my 217 brush into the powder and then just dust it lightly under the eyes. This is to set the concealer and make sure that it doesn't move and doesn't sink into the little cracks. If you have problems with your concealer, try using a little bit of translucent or transparent powder to set. It really does help. Then what we're going to do is use some powder just to set my foundation and concealer into place on my skin. What I'm going to do is use the Bourjois Healthy Balance Matte Finish and Natural Healthy Glow powder, which goes with the foundation, and this is a really nice powder. And to put that on, I'm just going to use my fluffy 129 MAC powder brush, and then I'm just going to dust that all over. But what I'm going to do is avoid the cheekbone area that I've highlighted and the centre of my nose that I've highlighted as well. And there we go. Now what I didn't do in this tutorial is use a primer. Now I just wanted to recommend to you a few primers that I do really like. I know that in previous tutorials I have used a primer, and it's a really excellent way of smoothing out the skin surface and creating an excellent base for your foundation and concealer to sit on, and it does help to make the makeup last a lot longer, and it's especially good if the primer contains an SPF as well. So just wanted to show you some primers. The Natural Radiance Primer from MAC, which you will have seen me use before. This is an excellent one if you want to just illuminate and brighten the skin. Then we've got the number 7 Colour Calming Primer, which a lot of you may have. This one was given to us free when we went to the Look Good Feel Better. And I know a lot of my friends have got this one. So this one's a great one if you've got red skin. It really helps to correct red complexions. But to be really honest, I prefer not to go down the green route, because on some skin tones it can give the skin a greenish tinge. What I prefer is the MAC Colour Correcting Primer in Neutralise, which is more of a yellow neutral sort of beigey tone colour, which really does help to neutralise the red, and it doesn't give a green tinge to the skin either. And this one does contain SPF 30, which is a bonus. And for me, because I don't have red skin, but what I do tend to have is a little bit sallow, a little bit yellowy, and can sort of look a bit drained, is I really like this one, which is the Recharge primer from MAC. This one has got SPF 35, and this one is kind of like an apricot colour. Just show you the colour of that one. So it's a bit of more of an apricot-y colour, which does really help to brighten the skin if it's looking very sallow. Just going to show you the colour of the Neutralise as well, which is the more sort of yellowy, beigey for correcting redness. I will show you the number 7, the green one, which is like a full-on green, if you prefer to go down that route, which is that one. And then I'm just going to show you the Natural Radiance Primer in Radiant Pink, which is this one, which brightens up the skin as well, gives a nice sort of a brightness. It's a lot lighter pink, so if you're quite sallow, the apricot-y one would be better. Now, you don't have to go with the ones that I've shown you. They're just the ones that I prefer. But if you sort of look at the colours here, you'll be able to find them in many other brands. But if you remember, apricot is really good for sallow complexions that need a bit of brightening. The yellowy beige is great for the redness. Green is good for redness too, but be careful, depending on your skin tone, it can make the skin have a greenish tinge. And then the lighter pink will boost the radiance of skin that needs a bit of a boost, but isn't so sallow, isn't as yellowy as what mine can get when I'm sort of looking a bit sallow and peaky. So there you go, there's my recommendations for primers. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, guys, and I will see you real soon. Take care. Bye.